Okay, time to finish the parak. Kuf Lamed Zayin Amud Aleph at the bottom. The Mishnah says, Kata Nimo L'Shmona, L'Tisha L'Yasar L'Yachadasar L'Yadbeis, L'Pachos V'Lo. So a child, we know a boy has a bris milah on the 8th day, but the Mishnah says sometimes a bris bisman, it could be on the 8th day, Shmona, or Tisha, or the 9th, or the 10th, or the 11th, or the 12th. Lo Pachos V'Lo Yoser, but that's it. Other than those days, the bris would not be considered on time. So no earlier than the 8th day, no later than the 12th day. How could that be? We know the 8th. Kedarko l'shmona, that would be a normal child born on a Tuesday. The bris is the next Tuesday on the 8th day. No lebein hashmashos. What if the child is born bein hashmashos, what we call twilight, between sunset and dark? So then it's not clear if a baby is born on a Tuesday night. Bein hashmashos, was he born on a Tuesday? He's born on a Wednesday. Is the bris the next Tuesday? Is the bris the next Wednesday? So nimo letes. So for the purposes of this Mishnah, we're assuming the child is really born on Tuesday. But to be safe, the bris is the next Wednesday, which would be the 9th day of the child's life. Bein hashmashos erev Shabbos nimo li'asar. So how do you get to 10? So if a baby is born on bein hashmashos going into Shabbos, so then really the baby is born on Friday. But we're not sure the baby's born on Friday, so we can't give him bris the next Friday. So we really wait till the 9th day, but the 9th day is Shabbos, and you can't give a bris meal on Shabbos unless you know for sure that the Shabbos is the 8th day. So in this case, the bris would have to wait until Sunday, which we're assuming is now the 10th day. So how can you get more than 10? Yom tov li'achar Shabbos nimol li'achar al yachadasar. What if the same situation, but the Sunday in this case is actually a yontif? Shabbos goes right into yontif, or vice versa. So then you'd have to wait until the day after the Shabbos yontif combination, which in theory could be the 11th day. Beis Yom Shel Rosh Hashanah. Sometimes we're familiar with it in Chutz La'aretz. You often have a 3-day yontif, or 2 days of yontif back to back with a Shabbos. In Eretz Yisrael, it's more rare because only Rosh Hashanah is 2 days. But that could happen. Beis Yom Shel Rosh Hashanah Nimol Shnei Masar. If Rosh Hashanah falls out, now Rosh Hashanah doesn't fall out in our calendar on a Sunday, Monday, but it does fall out often on a Thursday, Friday. So then you would have 3 days. If a baby was born, let's say Wednesday evening, bein hashmashos, the week before Rosh Hashanah, so then you'd have to wait until the following Sunday, which would be the 12th day. Okay, that's all assuming that everything, Baruch Hashem, is healthy. What if katan hachola? What if the child has health issues and he can't have a bris milah on time because he's a chola? So then ein molin oso ad yavri. So then you wait until yavri, until he becomes a bari, until he becomes a healthy person, and then you do the bris milah. You would never risk doing the bris milah on a child who is not in good health to begin with. Okay, that's the Mishnah. The Gemara says, short Gemara, Shmuel chalatzaso chama, nosnin lo kol zayin lihavrosa. So Shmuel says once, assuming the situation is a chama, he's got a fever, the child is too hot, as an infection or something. So once the fever chalatzasa, once the fever releases him, like a chalitza, so nosnin lo kol zayin lihavrosa. So you give him a whole another week from that point, lihavrosa, to be fully healthy. Okay, so that is the din of Shmuel, that you wait for health plus 1 week. Ibai lahu, the question is raised, mi bo'inin me'es la'es. Do you need 1 full week? Me'es la'es means to the minute, meaning if the child is medically cleared, let's say 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday, or 3:17 on a Thursday as it is now, so then you would say you have to wait till 3:17 next Thursday. If a child were born 3:17 on a Thursday, so then you wouldn't wait till next Thursday at 3:17. You would do it next Thursday first thing in the morning. This is the reason makdim in the mitzvahs. But when it comes to this din, that a child had been unhealthy and now he becomes healthy, so the din is that you wait a week. So is it a full week to the minute, or is it like when a baby's born where it's just any time on that day, even if it's less than 7 full days? So Tashma, let's find a clue. Tani Luda Yom Havra Aso Ki Yom Hivaldo. So you have a brisa taught from Luda as a person, Yom Havra Aso Ki Yom Hivaldo. That for the purpose of the bris milah, the day of his health becomes considered the day of his birth. Not for birthdays or bar mitzvahs in future years, but as far as the bris is concerned, the baby is in effect born the day that he's declared healthy enough to have a bris milah. So that sounds like we treat it like a baby born at 3:17 on a Thursday, and you could wait. You don't have to wait until next Thursday afternoon. You can do it Thursday morning. My lav, my yom hivaldo lo boin meis leis, af yom havrasa lo boin meis leis. So doesn't that sound like from this brisa that it's just like a birth, that you don't have to wait till the minute? Well, it's not necessarily. Lo could be alternatively could be read Adiv Yom Havaras Miyavaldo. That what the Bryce is just saying is that the day the day is declared healthy is like the day of his birth in the sense of counting from that day, but it actually has an extra, and it's Adif, it actually has more halachic restrictions. Because when it comes to birth, you don't need it to the minute. It to be the 8th day to the minute from when he was born. And as far as when a child becomes healthy who had been sick, you do require that it go me'es le'es. Okay, next Mishnah. Last Mishnah in the parak. Whoa. So we mentioned earlier in the parak that when it comes to how much skin needs to be removed in a bris milah, so there's a little bit of a range, right? There's a minimum, and then there's more than the minimum. So the Mishnah is going to clarify that. Basar achofes rov ha'atara. So how much is the minimum? So it says the skin that covers basically the majority of the skin of the foreskin. Ve'ein ochel b'truma. And if the bris milah did not meet that minimum requirement, then the child is, for all intents and purposes, uncircumcised. And one of the ramifications is that he can't eat truma. Okay, v'mhaya bal basar misaknu b'nei maras ha'ayin. And the Mishnah goes on to say that even if you met the minimum requirement bris milah as far as the mitzvah, but sometimes the child is a bal basar, sometimes babies especially have extra baby fat, so if there's extra skin, so if he has the bris milah, but it doesn't look like he has the bris milah, so it's good to be mitaken that, it's good to clear that up also, so it doesn't look like he doesn't have a bris milah. Okay. Amid Beis, Mal v'lo paras amila kilo mal, kilu lo mal. If the mohel does the mila, does the circumcision, but does not do the priya, does not push back the skin so that the mila stays in place, and then kilo lo mal, so if he didn't do it at all, then the mitzvah, he's not yotze the mitzvah. So Amar Rabbi Avina, Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba, Amar Rav, Basar Chofes Rov Gova Shel Atar. So Rav clarifies how we measure rov of the foreskin. Okay, Nimhaya Bal Basar. And again, if there's extra skin, Tamar Shmuel Katan Amar Surubal Bavasar Rono So calls Man Shemiskashim Yermal Eno Tzarach Lamul Imlab Tzarach Lamul. So Shmuel says again, as far as the Mishnah's last din, as far as when it looks like the mila was not done, so you should more skin should be removed. They maris ayin. So how is that determined? So two different versions here. So Shmuel says, so if it looks okay some of the time, so then you don't have to do extra Mtnei Maris Ayin. But b'masnistan, another version, Roshim Galil Merkater Masrul Basar One also calls Manchim Skash Einer Mel Tzarach Lamul Vim Lav Eino Tzarach Lamul. According to this version, Roshim Galil says if it looks good some of the time, then you do have to fix it. If it always looks okay, then Eino Tzarach Lamulo, My Beinayu. What's the difference in the two versions? Well, the second version is more lenient. Ika Beinayu, near Veino near. So sometimes it's kind of in between. So the second version will be more lenient. Okay. Malvalo Para. So the Mishnah said that if you do the bris milah but not the priya, that's not enough. Tan Rabbanan. So along those lines, the brisa continues. Hamal Omer. So again, it goes through the procedure of the bris milah. Hamal, the mohel himself, makes a bracha asher kiddishan b'mitzvah tzivanu al hamila, and the avi habein Omer asher kiddishan b'mitzvah tzivanu liachnisa b'vrisa shel Avram Avinu. So there's two brachos, one made by the mohel on the mitzvah of milah itself, and one made by the father on the occasion of the child entering the bris of Avram Avinu, the age-old tradition. Ha'omdim, the people standing there, the people at the bris, the guests, omrim kashem shechas lebris, kachi kanes l'torah l'chubal ma'asim tovim. So they give a bracha that just like this child had this chus to enter in the bris of Avram Avinu, so too the rest of his life he should be able to partake in all our wonderful traditions of Torah, of chuppah, of marriage, of ma'asim tovim, of mitzvos. Okay, it should be the first of many wonderful things for this child. And then someone else is chosen to make a special bracha on the occasion. Asher Kidash did mi beten, acknowledging that Hashem has sanctified this Yedid, this friend, this member of the tribe, mi beten, already from before birth. Chok b'sheir osam, and now the covenant, the law, the mitzvah of bris milah is now put into his actual she'er, into his actual body, into his flesh. Chasam bios bris kodesh, and all his descendants are sealed with this covenant. Al kain b'schar zos kelchai chalkeinu tzavei l'hatzil yididus she'ereini mishachas, and on the merit of this b'schar zos, so the living God should save us from everything. L'hatzil yididus she'ereini mishachas, to save his beloved members of the family, mishachas, from any negativity. Laman briso shersam b'v'sareinu, because of this covenant, because of this connection we have with Hashem, which is represented in our very skin. Baruch atah Hashem korei sabris, and concludes the bracha with that statement, korei sabris. Okay, so that's in a normal situation, a baby on the 8th day. Those are the brachos and tefillos that are said. Hamalas hagerim, if a person converts to Judaism as a bris later in life, Omer Baruch atah Hashem l'keinu malcham asher k'shem mitzvah alamila. So the same bracha is made now by for the situation. Amavarich Omer, there's no bracha, there's no parent making a bracha l'aknisim b'bris shalom avinu, but there is another bracha that's given to another person to say. Amavarich Omer asher k'dishanu mitzvah mitzvah lamalas hagerim u'lahatif mimehem dam bris. Shalom dam bris lo niskai mishamayim v'aretz shenemar imlo brisi yomam v'layl chuko shamayim v'aretz lo samti baruch atah Hashem korei sabris. So the bracha goes on to say there's a mitzvah to give a bris milah to converts and to draw the ceremonial blood of the bris which they're entering now, because without for this the blood of this bris, lo niskai mishamayim v'aretz, so then the world will not endure, as the pasuk says in Yirmiyahu. If not for this covenant, this eternal covenant, this 24-hour-a-day covenant, they wouldn't have had the heavens and the earth wouldn't endure. Okay, Hamalas Avadim, the third situation that Gemara talks about is when a person gives a bris milah to an Eved. An Eved Kanani who comes to the household of a Jewish family also undergoes conversion, and also has a bris milah. Omer asher k'shanu mitzvah al hamilah. So the person doing the bris milah says the bracha al hamilah, and the mavarech, the one who has the kavod of making this extra bracha, says asher k'shanu mitzvah al hamilah. So avadim ulativ mehem dam bris shalamali dam bris chukos shemavar tzlo niskai mushenamar imlo bris yomam v'layl chukos shemavar tzlo samti baruch atah Hashem korei sabris. So the bracha is the same as with the gerim. And at this point, everyone says Mazel Tov, and we say Mazel Tov on the finishing of the parak. Hadron Alacha B'Lezer Demila. I look forward to learning this and other prakim again in the future. Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov.